So some research from the Northwestern University's Super Aging Research Program in the US. Let's delve into it. This particular research identified that superagers had bigger neurons, that's neurons, or brain cells, in the area of their brain which is concerned with memory, awareness of time, navigation in space, how to find your way around, in other words. And of course, these are precisely the functions of the brain that deteriorate in someone with dementia or poor brain health. It's really clear to anyone who's had a family member with dementia. The other area of the brain which seemed to be different in superagers was the area concerned with social interaction, with talking with and being with other people. It makes sense. Often what elderly people lack is social interaction, and most do much better when they live in a situation where there is lots of social interaction, and much less well in situations where they live alone and spend a lot of time alone, as often happens to people in Western societies. But why do some people have bigger or more neurons in these areas of the brain? What seems to be a consensus, that's consensus, and this now means a broad area of agreement. What seems to be the consensus is that physical activity is really important. You don't have to be running marathons, or even running at all, or going to the gym. But the study found that these switched-on 80-year-olds were physically active in some way. What also seems to be important too is doing mentally challenging things. Doing things with your brain that aren't particularly easy, or activities that you've not done before. That could, of course, be learning a new language, or learning a new skill of any type, and sticking with it when it gets difficult. I think the old idea of a brain being like a muscle is a good one. A muscle, M-U-S-C-L-E, we have these all over our bodies, in our arms and legs, and they are what give us strength and enable us to move our bodies. If you work out at the gym, you probably work to exercise and build your muscles. And the saying is, use it or lose it with muscles. And it's the same for your brain, it seems. If you use your brain and challenge yourself, you'll keep more of your cognitive function when you're older. So it seems that superagers have better brain health in part because of their behaviour. They do physical exercise, they do social interaction, and they challenge themselves mentally. That means they challenge their minds. They try to learn new things and things which aren't easy or familiar. Are there other factors at work here? Surely genetics, your genes, G-E-N-E-S, must be a factor too. Sometimes ageing well and living to an old age does run in families, suggesting genetics are involved. Dr. Walter Longo is director of the Longevity Institute at the University of Southern California. Longevity means old age, so this is another university studying the science of aging. Dr. Longo says that although genetics are a factor, sometimes aging well and living to an old age does run in families, it probably only accounts for 20 to 30% of the reason why some people live well into their old age. Dr. Walter Longo is well known for his work on how diet and also on how fasting can positively affect health. The verb to fast, F-A-S-T, means to go without food for a period of time. Perhaps that's a podcast for another time. And there are many, many people discussing how diet and food and fasting really affect your health, your long-term health, and the likelihood that you will have a good old age, maybe even be a super ager. So genetics and a healthy diet are clearly factors as well.